Stephen Lawhead. Today I've appeared before you to read statements from retired Lieutenant Colonel Shelton F. Langford, retired U.S. Marine Corps fighter pilot and member of Pilots for 9/11 Truth. I have included a short bio and his credentials. Quote, September 11, 2001 seems destined to be the watershed event of our lives and the greatest test for our democracy in our lifetimes. The evidence of government complicity in the lead-up to the events, the failure to respond during the event, and the astounding lack of any meaningful investigation afterwards, as well as the ignoring of evidence turned up by others that renders the official explanation impossible, may signal the end of the American experiment. It has been used to justify all manners of measures to legalize repression at home and as a pretext for behaving as an aggressive empire abroad. Until we demand an independent, honest, and thorough investigation and accountability for those whose action and inaction led to those events and the cover-up, our republic and our Constitution remain in the gravest danger, unquote. Due to time constraints, the following is an excerpt of a statement Lieutenant Colonel Langford made to the website www.patriotsquestion911.com, and I quote, "This isn't about party, this isn't about Bush bashing, this is about our country. Your countrymen have been murdered, and the more you delve into it, the more it looks as though they were murdered by our government, who use it as an excuse to murder other people thousands of miles away. If you ridicule others who have sincere doubts and who know factual information that directly contradicts the official report, and who want explanations from those who hold the keys to our government and have motive, means, and opportunity to pull off a 9/11, but you are too lazy or fearful or to check into the facts for yourself, what does that make you? Scholars for 9/11 Truth have developed reams of scientific data. Michael Rupert has published an exhaustive account of the case from the viewpoint of a trained investigator. David Ray Griffith provides a context for the unanswered or badly answered questions that should nag at anyone who pretends to love this country. Are you afraid that you will learn the truth and you can't handle it? I think I know some people in that category. Are you afraid you will draw attention of thugs who could do the things that were done that day? Do you believe your fellow man is just not capable of that degree of evil? I would have not believed that my country would ever become a torture state and that the Congress would be arguing with the executive about it. I thought that habeas corpus was fundamental to our civil rights, and now I find that it is not. I thought that my country stood for honorable dealings with other nations, then watch a jingoistic cheerleading orgy on TV composed like Oscar night, with the centerpiece a campaign of shock and awe as our armed forces invade a practically defenseless nation without provocation, while considerable doubt of the validity of the reasons for that invasion exists. Our fearless leader clings to lies until they are untenable and then disowns them as though he never spoke them. We who can pillory a president of one party for lying about sex cannot call to account a repeated and habitual liar of another who sends more than 3,100 of our soldiers to their deaths. For what? Some point to the fact that the scientific community is largely silent. There apparently is no scientific community. We have lots of scientists who work in government-funded research institutes and who work for universities funded by government money, mostly defense-related. Do a little research project and see how well whistleblowers have prospered since the boy king ascended the throne. Look at how Professor Stephen Jones' career went after he challenged openly the collapse of the World Trade Center buildings in peer-reviewed articles. Listen to his lecture on Google Video, then read the accounts of how Brigham Young University ran for cover by putting him on leave and kowtowing to those who questioned his qualifications. Look up Sybil Edmonds. Check into John M. Cole. Look up Mike Rupert, a gutsy cop who never blinked as he exposed CIA crime, has fled the country after having the type of tactics that might make Tony Soprano ashamed used against him and his From the Wilderness website. Then look at the fortunes of David Fraskin and Spike Bowman, two FBI supervisors who stonewalled the intelligence that might have exposed the 9/11 plotters, who were then promoted and rewarded. Compare and contrast the fortunes of those who come out with the factual information unfavorable to the administration with those who play ball and make the right noises on the Sunday morning shows. Do a little research. Google is a wonderful tool. What does it all add up to? The 9/11 Commission was, as was the Warren Commission before it, a dog and pony show for the amusement of the flock who might have accidentally looked up from American Idol for a moment and caught a glimpse of it, but then saw that the other sheeple were quietly grazing. Then they went back to munching while the wolves, who cannot eat their entire flock at once, circle and stalk their next victim. Unquote. Thank you for your time and attention.
Questions? Thank you, sir.
Sir, I'd just like to say one thing between now and next time we see you. I'd suggest you read the book called Into the Mouth of the Cat about Captain Lance Saigon, who was shot down over Laos in November of 1967 and died in Hanoi Hilton in January of 1968.
All right.
Anybody else who'd like to speak?
I also have more information for you guys. You said you were interested in reading my
Sure.
material, so I brought some more.
Thank you.
And if any of you are interested, I have DVDs that,
Just leave me. We'll each Anybody who wants to grab one, okay? Thank you very much.
Seeing no one else coming forward, Mr. Chair, I would move for adjournment as well as advancement of the pending list and scheduling the resolutions for next week.
Second.
Discussion? Call roll.
Hornung,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Spots,
Yes.
Camp,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
Emery.
Yes.
Motion carried 7-0.
We are adjourned. Thank you.